Hello, hi guys, my name is Jam and I'm making this video for Lily's channel just about different countries, my experiences and race. Excuse the head wrap, I'm actually steaming my hair right now, so oh god, it's not a big deal. But I've got some questions that I've got on my phone, so I'm going to read them out and yeah, so let's start. So the first question is, tell us about your background, nationality, race and stuff like that. So my race is black. Well, that's what I say, my race is black. Most of my family come from Barbados and Jamaica in the Caribbean, which would make me Afro-Caribbean, but black. There are other small bits of other races in there, like European and stuff like that, but they are further off, quite small, so I just refer to myself as black. My nationality, on the other hand, is British, so I refer to myself as black British because I live in England, as you can tell from my accent. That's my nationality, so I am black British. How many countries have you been to and what kind of experience did you have? Okay, so far I've been to 4 countries in total, but 5 different trips. So I've been to Jamaica, Barbados, Spain twice, and Italy. So my experiences with Jamaica and Barbados were really similar. Obviously those are the countries that my family are from, so when I went there, I went to Jamaica when I was 3 and I went to Barbados when I was 11. But when I went there, it felt like it didn't feel like I was a tourist or I was on holiday. It felt like I was just visiting family and as if I was actually from the country. In those 2 countries, most of the people are black, and where I live in London, there are black people, quite a lot, but the majority of people are white. So it felt really weird to be amongst people that look like me. But also I did feel a little bit of tension because I have an accent, obviously an English accent, as well as my family, and going there I felt like the people were treating us differently and kind of maybe not being so nice because of our English accents, and I'm not sure why. But apart from that, no, my experiences were just normal there. I had a good time. Yeah. And my other countries that I've been to was Spain, and the first time I went to Spain it was a weird experience and I didn't enjoy it that much. I went there and obviously the part that I went to was quite rural and there were not a lot of black people there, which isn't a problem for me, but what the problem was is that as soon as we got there a lot of people were staring, and at 13 years old it's a bit uncomfortable to be stared at like that, and there were some rude comments as well that were made in Spanish. Unfortunately for them, they didn't know that I can speak Spanish. As of now I've been studying it for 7 to 8 years, so I could understand them and it wasn't the best of times. No, they made us feel quite uncomfortable, and at the time I was frustrated and angry, but now I feel a little bit more not okay with it, but a little bit more understanding because they're so rural and they've never really seen black people. I guess staring out of shock is probably what most people would do. So yeah, that experience was very different. And the next country I went to was Bari in Italy, and I went with my school and it was on an exchange trip. And Bari is in the south of Italy, and like Spain there wasn't a lot of black people where I went. In fact, I think I only saw one black person when I was there. Again, this isn't a problem for me, but my experience here was quite different. The people were staring, but they were nice. It was almost as if they were staring out of curiosity because they'd never seen a black person before. And I'd gone to the school with my exchange partner and all of the people were like, wow, your hair is so different, and wow, your skin, and I don't know, I felt I felt embarrassed, but I felt kind of very welcomed, very I don't know, very appreciated, and I really enjoyed learning their culture and them teaching them my culture as well. So that was a very, very good experience. I had a great time there. And then my last trip that I've been to is Spain again, and I went to Barcelona, and that experience was really strange because it felt as if I was in London. Barcelona, unlike the area I went to before, is very much metropolitan, so you've got people from all different races. They're mixing together in one city, and I had a great time and I got to practice my Spanish language again, and no, I definitely go back. So those are the places I've been to and those are my experiences. Pretty boring probably, but you know, I'm only 18, so there's many more places that I need to go. 3. What do you think about interracial or international relationships? What do I think about interracial and international relationships? The first thing I think is that they should just be called relationships. There is nothing peculiar or different about having an interracial relationship, even though some people try to act like there is nothing wrong with it. I think it's pretty cool that you can have a relationship with people of two different cultures teaching each other about different things, and possibly having a child that is able to experience two different cultures, possibly two different languages and everything like that. In fact, I think it's really cool, and almost I think it's becoming more common. I live in a city where it's a melting pot. You've got people from everywhere, and I go to a school where it's really, really mixed, and there are so many different people in different relationships. I think most of the relationships there are probably interracial. So no, all I can say is that just do what you need to do. If you love someone, regardless of their race, then do it, regardless of where they come from and anything like that. That's all I can say. I mean, my great grandmother is mixed race. She's half Irish, well, she was half Irish and she was half black. And if I was like, oh, I'm against interracial relationships, I'd be a hypocrite, because I wouldn't be alive. So that's my take on interracial relationships. However, I'm only 18, I'm only young, so I've got many more experiences to come in life, so maybe you don't want to listen to my opinion because I haven't got a lot of life experience, but that's my take on it. Okay, so then my next question is, which culture do I find the most interesting? I'm very intrigued and inspired by cultures all around the world. I think it's beautiful, and when I get older I'd love to travel more, but the culture that I find the most interesting and the countries that I want to visit the most is like Eastern Asia, so countries like Korea, Japan, China, the Philippines, countries like that I find really intriguing because the culture is so different from Western culture, well, East-West. Japan was where it all started. I had a friend when I was about 10 who came to my primary school, and he was Japanese, and I had to show him around the school, and he taught me about where he lived and the language he spoke, and I was so intrigued. I was like, wow. And after that I got into things like manga and watching cartoons, and now I watch vloggers like Lily and people that are in Korea and Japan and stuff, and I just, oh wow, I don't know, I'm just so inspired by that culture the most, and to the point where I'm learning Japanese right now, and I would like to start learning Korean as well. Like, doing like a tour of those countries would be a dream for me, like wow. And the last question is, do I think learning a second language is really important? And I'm gonna say an obvious yes, 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 yes. I think learning a second language, everyone should do it. I think it should be something standard and taught in schools, as important as English is taught in English schools, because like, learning a second language not only just gives you the skill of learning a second language and going to another country and be able to speak with them, it also gives you an insight to their culture and opens you up to more things. And I think that less people would be like, I think there'd be less racism and xenophobia if more people were taught to speak a second language. So I've been learning Spanish for 8 years, and I've been learning Japanese on and off for about 3, and I don't know, I just feel like I'm able to connect with more people. A lot of people criticise English people and Americans for being really ignorant and not wanting to learn other people's languages, and I've seen it myself. I've seen English people go there and say, well, everybody speaks English, so what am I going to learn your language for? Speak English. And that irritates me a lot, because if you're in someone else's land, then I think it's your duty not to necessarily be fluent in the language, but to just try. And it's sad right now, because I think that language learning is becoming less important and less people are inclined to do it. As of now, my Spanish class, which is A level right now, there are 8 of us out of the God knows how many students in the school. Hundreds and hundreds of students in the school, maybe almost 1,000, and there are 8 of us in the Spanish class. And in the French class, there is 1 student. And in the German class, oh no, we don't have a German class. I think that's ridiculous, honestly, and I think the fact that they only offer Spanish, French and German is ridiculous as well. They should be offering, like my sister's school, Mandarin, Japanese, Korean, Cantonese, Italian, all different languages. I think there should be more focus on it. I think it's really important. Anyway, rant over. That was my video on, I don't know, culture, languages, life, countries, I don't really know what you call that. So Thank you for listening, and thank you to Lily for giving me the opportunity to share my experiences. And make sure you subscribe to her channel. Thank you guys for listening. See you guys later.